Hey everyone, this is Rachel and I'm here for another process video. I am going to be using my August 2017 Clique Kit. This will be my last layout as I only have one full-size 12 by 12 piece of paper, and what I have left for scraps of actual paper is not much. I have this one 4x6 photo. I do try to mix it up with using one photo and then multiple photos, but sometimes I am not hampered, but I am limited by what I actually have available to me. This is a photo from the 1980s. This is my best friend and housemate. And I've mentioned before that while I scrapbook because I like to play with pretty paper, I'm planning on passing these on to my nephew, who is her son. Now, so I don't find it odd to scrapbook her upbringing, as I will be handing them off to him. Now, this photo was of her and her very good friend at the time, and they are styling in their 80's do's. Wow, words are hard, guys. So sorry. This is my best friend. She's a hairstylist, and she was a hairstylist. This is right around high school graduation. She then went on to, she did business school and cosmetology school at the same time. And so this was all her handiwork. And so I definitely wanted to use this kit to document this story because of some of the sayings, like for sure, and just the electric love, and just the very brightness of it very much screamed for me 80s. So even though not necessarily the colors really matched, but I just thought it worked well stylistically, if that makes sense. Alright folks, I'm going to go ahead, get you on fast forward and start this layout. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave it at the end in the comment section, and I almost always get back to you within a week or so. Thanks so much, guys. I will get going. Okay, so the first thing I am going to do is start by going through my cut aparts and my die cuts and seeing what might work for this particular layout. I know I want to go bright, I know I want to bring in all the colors, and I know this is going to be a pretty busy layout because I have the one single photo, and I've got these ladies rocking the 80s hair and looking all super fine going out to New York on the town and all that stuff. So I really want to bring in the color. And so I'm going to cut apart a bunch of these, I think they're 1.5 by 1.5 squares, that have the holographic images and words on them. And what I'm looking for is a bunch of the different colors, and then for some of the non-beachy themed items. So I have hearts and stars and free spirit and just a couple of the other like just basic icons rather than the beach themed ones, and the word cool. So I'm also thinking about grabbing, well, I do grab this mermaid journaling card because, mermaids are kind of known for their flowy hair and stuff like that, and my housemate's friend kind of has that same look going on with her feathered to one side do. So, sorry, it just makes me giggle looking at the hair. It's hilarious. So, I'm going to leave this branding strip on the bottom of the page and trim off the, what is it, a 1/4 inch that a branding strip is. I'm going to trim off the branding strip I'm going to trim off what would be the height of the branding strip along the top. Now you'll see here I'm doing some fussy cutting. This particular paper had kind of like a chalk print of items, so I can fussy cut out away from my body because it doesn't have to be perfect. So you'll see my scissors are staying in the same place and I'm moving the paper. And that really is the easiest way to get a better looking fussy cut thing. So here's where I'm trimming off the top so that way I can keep the branding strip, and then I'm going to add those other 2 branding strips kind of straight up and down but off center to both, to the bottom, to each other. So one's going to go off one side and one's going to go off the other side, just a little bit, just to give a little movement. So I have that fussy cut flower, and then the light it up die cut, and the little peace sign die cut, and then all of the holographic squares. And I'm going to even add more, because this is definitely a more is more layout. So I'm trying to see what will work out. Obviously, I'm not going to have it be all this wonky, but I want to make sure I use a lot of the thing. When I saw this line, I definitely thought of this particular photo, so I wanted to try to use a bunch of the things on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get those branding strips down. And one of them has, like, well, they're not obviously real neon, but it has the design of between the bright pink and then the white haloed effect. It gives the effect of neon hearts. And then I have those marquee style words. And then I place the sticker that says Electric Love down there as well. I really wanted to use that. I just thought it was really neat, and I didn't think there was anywhere else I would use it. So, but you know, it could be like a band they were going to see that night. That sounds like an 80s band, right? So, I'm happy with the way my photo looks, and I like the journaling block next to it, so I'm going to go ahead and get that down. I am going to have that peace sign right there, and then that little cut apart, a fussy cut flower just to the left of the peace sign. Now I decided to move that lighted up die cut to the left hand side, and that allows room for that Hey Girl Hey tag. And also I'm cutting apart this frame and just putting that around the right hand side of the photo, and that just kind of, you'll notice what I'm basically doing is creating a large frame around the entire photo block, using the squares and the die cuts and the tag, and I'll add some stickers. So I've got that sunglass die cut, and then I go on the sticker page and I add a second pair of sunglasses, because there's two of them, so obviously they probably both have sunglasses. I also add that cool, cool, cool flag sticker to the upper left hand. This particular layout I had done just after I came back from a trip, and the TSA confiscated my glue because they said it was too large. So I do buy more glue and then glue that down, but it's going to stay kind of loosey-goosey during the whole thing. So if you see it moving around, that's why. Now I'm taking my T-square ruler to line up on the bottom here, and spacing out and making sure all of those 1x1 squares. And you'll see I have, I'm moving them so that for the most part, it goes icon, word, and the colors are, I'm not having two oranges together or two pinks together or anything like that. I'm trying to space it out. I've got one yellow on one side and then a white one on the other side. So I'm just trying to balance both style and color. Style meaning whether it's a picture or words. Now I do have those two words together on the sides, but hey, I can only do so much. Alright, I add that little ampersand on a hexagon, and then I add that it bouncing off the light, but it says something like that. And I'm just kind of poking through, seeing what will work, and I want to use these words for sure. Because, hello, totally 80s. I start them up there by on the top of the photo, but you know, it's like I always say, everyone has their peak moment where it's like, you know what? Yeah, I've now gone too far. So I'm good with everything, all that super busy stuff all around the photo, and then I get to that, I'm like, yeah, no, that's too much. So I'm going to move it over to my journaling spot. That's fine. I don't necessarily have a big story for this. I have, you know, talked to my roommate, and she's like, you know, I honestly don't even remember what we were doing, you know, other than, you know, it was the 80s, and so when we went out, this is how dressed up we got. She's like, we were 18. We thought we were like so fabulous. So I'm just going to do something like, you know, blah and blah, heading out in the town looking their fabulous self. So I've moved on to the title, and I'm going to use these Coastline holographic thickers. They are foam with a holographic cover, and my plan is to do 80's Ladies as my title. I have no more S's after I use that one, and I have no more 8's because I'm using that, and I've already used 2 8's to make S's on another layout. So I try to see if I can do it with an ampersand, but that was a big failure. So instead I moved to these hot pink Alex stickers, which are also foam, obviously, and I'm going to use them to spell the word ladies. So I am going to end up with the title 80's Ladies. So once I get ladies down, I decide instead of next to each other, I'll have 80's be on top of that. And that's nice because it kind of brings the squares down to that lower part because it all kind of flows now. So I'm taking a gander and I'm trying to see, it's like, I don't think this layout's busy enough. What should I add? And I decide what this needs is bright pink spatters. So I grab the Heidi Swap Color Shine in the color pink. I don't have a hot pink in my shimmers, so I had to go with my Color Shine, which is fine. I like that too. That is going to finish my layout off today. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. If you have a question or a comment, just leave it below and I will get back to you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye!